Welcome back to Good Morning Sri Lanka. Now, we were having a chat with Sara Arumugam, who is involved with a lot of work concerning women and also especially women in post-conflict areas of the country. Now, some of the key issues that she highlighted before the break was that they have a lack of access to resources, they have a problem of security and also a lack of skills. Now, Sara, I know there are like a vast amount of issues in these areas, but before we get into that, in your opinion, can you just maybe suggest some of the recommendations for the issues that you just mentioned to us before?
Yes, actually I think we need to see how we could engage especially these war widows in economic development, and also I think we can support them economically, and we need to introduce livelihood projects for these people, and also maybe we can encourage the local industries to give employment for these young war widows, especially because actually when you don't have economic power, you're vulnerable for violence.
You basically have this feeling of helplessness.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, this has resulted, because this has been noted recently, that the number of sex workers have increased. Just because they don't have any other skills, they get into this. So I think like we really need to take this issue as a very critical and very important issue to empower them economically, and also to encourage the business investors to invest in these areas. And also when it comes to protection, it is very important that the state take the necessary actions to protect the women and girls. And I'm talking, it's not I'm just talking general, because it's not, this applies to general women in the whole country, because it's not only to the women who are in the post-conflict areas, because we know that it is really imperative to enforce those laws that protect women, because we know we do have a better legal framework, but the problem is implementing. So when it comes to implementation, we see that there are a lot of gaps. So we have to make sure that there must be no impunity for acts of violence against women. All the perpetrators must be punished.
True enough. And it's actually, it's a very interesting that you mentioned that, because when you work in a practical setup, you actually realize how the laws have been implemented. And although in theory it might seem that the legal framework is sufficient, sometimes when it comes to implementation and when you actually see it in process and it is in action, you might see that there are flaws and gaps, as you mentioned.
Yes, actually Sri Lanka has ratified many international conventions of violence against women, and also we do have domestic laws, and we have passed Women's Charter, and we have protection for domestic violence. But the problem is a lot of authorities also does not adhere to these regulations, or rather they are not much aware. They are not much aware about these rules and regulations. And also the public, we need to make the public aware of the situation, plus the consequences of doing violent, consequences of their acts.
And also just talking about your experience, now you've been into these areas several times right throughout these 3 years. Now, talking in general, has there been a positive change? Has there been a positive transition over the years? There have been 3 years after the war has been ended. Has there been some kind of improvement in your opinion?
Well, actually, if I talk from the perspective of post-conflict women's situation, that actually the women in these areas are more they are more forward now, and they can take leadership. So I think we really need to invest in developing their leadership skills, and also we need to invest them to improve their economic situation. And when it comes to general women, I think I think we really need to address the issue of violence against women, and we need to give adequate awareness for the public, and also we need to have have dialogue on this issue, so that women and girls will be protected.
Exactly, and women's empowerment is a very important topic, and as we've discussed maybe in our previous shows over the last week as well, it has really contributed in a positive way right across the Western world, and it has had a positive contribution to the economy as a whole. And as you mentioned, with so many single mothers rather, in the post-conflict areas, and if they are educated and if they have the necessary skills, they'll be able to contribute more to the economy as well.
Yes, exactly.
And also just a general note, now this is slightly out of the topic of violence against women. Now talking about harassment, now I also know that you were actively involved in a campaign carried out recently against harassment of women. If you'd just like to talk a bit about that, in your opinion, has there been a decrease of this because of the media focus on it, or do you think it's still there and it is an issue that needs to be addressed?
Well, actually, I think it is really a important thing that media and civil society take action to eliminate violence against women. And from my opinion, what I have seen throughout all these actions and campaigns, I cannot see a great reduce of harassment, but still we have made some awareness about this, so people talk about it. So and also I think if I just mention about the recent campaign that they did with the school children, and I'm personally very happy to be a part of it, because I think it is a very good approach that we use the school boys. So I think it is always important to engage not only the people who are subject to violence, but also the perpetrators. So I think it is always I don't kind of blame all these boys, but I think it is because our society is such that sometimes they don't take when a message is given by a woman, it is not taken in a good spirit. But I think this campaign was very powerful, because this message was taken to the society, to the community by men. So I think men addressing this issue has a greater impact. So I think we need to really unite, and especially regardless of gender, we need to get together and really work together towards this, because harassment in public spaces is a real great concern when it comes to the women and girls.
Exactly. And talking about your organization which you're involved in at the moment, the YWCA, it's the Young Women's Christian Association. Now some people when you hear the name obviously think that it's only for Christians. Is that so, or what kind of work are you all engaged in right at the moment?
Yes, actually this organization is a faith-based organization, but we are very inclusive, and we do have members of all faiths. And for your information, that most of our services, 90% of our services are being given to non-Christians. So we are a very open organization, so we do not have restrictions as such. And also YWCA, Young Women's Christian Association, is the first women's organization in the world. So we are so happy to be a part of it, and we mainly focus on advocacy and also on peace. We advocate for eliminate violence against women, and we advocate on peace building, and also we advocate and promote young women's leadership. So this is something which is really important, that YWCA really focus on young women, and they believe that we need to develop young women because they are the leaders of today, not tomorrow. They are the leaders of today. So we need to really develop their capacities, and also we build their capacity through different local, regional and international events and opportunities, and also we do have various programs and activities for young girls. And also when it comes to peace building, we do mobilize the communities to engage in peace building activities. Especially we focus on interfaith dialogue, because throughout the years, throughout the work that we have done in past, interfaith dialogue has been very successful.
Definitely an important and pressing issue, because as the communities get together, we really have to get rid of caste differences, religious differences, language barriers, and basically just treat everyone equally. Now unfortunately we have to wrap up due to time restrictions, but that was Sara Arumugam. And Sara, thank you for joining us and talking about some of the topics that are really relevant, especially focusing on the importance of empowering women in post-conflict areas and the issues faced by them. So Sara, thank you once again for being on Good Morning Sri Lanka.
Thank you so much.
So now with that, folks, we have to say goodbye to you. Now tomorrow, remember, we're going to come to your living room or wherever you watch your TV, same time on MTV Sports. So keep watching Good Morning Sri Lanka. Hope you have a great day.